guys, this is Missouri Kid 96. Unfortunately, I only got one vote. Thank you, Haas. You the man. And so I will be reviewing for my first movie, Batman vs. Superman, the bigger foray into the DC cinematic universe. They're trying to catch up with Marvel. So instead of taking the slow route like Marvel did, where they came out Iron Man, Hulk, and all these separate movies, they went right into Batman vs. Superman, starring Henry Cavill as the Man of Steel and Ben Affleck as the Caped Crusader. I was really excited going into this movie. The second trailer brought down some of that excitement, and then the third trailer, where there was a lot of Batman stuff, including that fight in the warehouse, which was an awesome scene. Not going to lie. Got my excitement back up for it. So my friends and I, we missed class, and we went to go see it at an afternoon at the movie theater where my college is. And coming out of the movie, was not a fan. There were some good aspects of it. I thought the acting was fine. I didn't think anybody did a bad job acting-wise. Even the complaints people have about Jesse Eisenberg, I don't think it's on Jesse Eisenberg. I think it's the direction that they went with, and Eisenberg kind of did what he was told to do. Henry Cavill, fine. Amy Adams, fine. Even though Amy Adams, Lois, and Clark's relationship wasn't as good as Man of Steel, a movie I do like, and I'm not a big Superman guy. So I thought the acting was fine. Ben Affleck, fantastic as Batman. I remember when everyone freaked out a few years ago when he was cast as Batman. Since then, The Town, Argo, these movies have come out. I'm really excited for this Batman movie coming out in a couple years with him at the helm. I think it could be better than The Dark Knight, if I'm going to be honest with you. Now, will it? I don't know, but it has the potential. If they play their cards right with this movie. And it's hard to mess up Batman. Like, let's be real. Like, it's hard nowadays when you see what Nolan did with some of these films, and they just got to get the right villain. Will they do the Joker? Probably. But I would love to see them do the Riddler the right way, or someone like Hush or Victor Zsasz as kind of a side villain. I'd love to see that, but that more about Batman vs. Superman. The main reason I didn't like it was just Zack Snyder, while I do like some of his films, I always think he does a better job if the story is brought to him. He did a good job with Watchmen. I thought he did a good job with 300. But when he has to create his own story, he lacks sometimes. Like this movie, for example, it seemed like Zack Snyder was never a kid. And when you were a kid, you remember thinking about Batman, Superman. I had action figures; they'd fight and stuff. And the movie was just boring for parts of this time. And I never thought I'd say that about a movie starring Batman versus Superman. I never say that I'd be bored by it. But I was. I mean, a lot of the stuff with Clark was just kind of boring. I mean, and some of that had to do with the plotting story. Some of that had to do with you want to build up that final action set piece, which was cool. The fight was cool. The fight with Doomsday was pretty cool. That's not a spoiler. Doomsday's in it. I might go a little spoilers because the movie's been out for a couple months now. But I'm trying not to be too heavy with that with more recent movies moving forward. The plot of Jesse Eisenberg, it made sense, but it was kind of like there were stretches where you're really gonna have to stretch your imagination, and then there was the deleted scene with Steppenwolf kind of giving him the boxes and the knowledge of Krypton. So Steppenwolf will be in Justice League Part 1, not Darkseid, which good. I mean, they're not playing their cards too early. Which it seemed like they were doing with this movie. The other thing that really bothered me with this movie was kind of the editing. It was really choppy. There was like one scene, I don't remember where exactly in the movie, but Clark left to go do something. I think it was the scene in Mexico. You know, the scene where it's kind of creepy with it was on the Day of the Dead in Mexico and all the masks are reaching at him. And he left to go do that, and Perry White, played by Lawrence Fishburne, comes out and says, "Where does that boy go?" It just seems like he goes into a phone booth and goes back to Kansas. And you would think the next shot would be him at... no, it wasn't at the Day of the Dead thing. He did go back, but you think it would be the next shot with him at the farm in Kansas, in Smallville. But no, they cut back to Ben Affleck doing some Batman style, which was cool, but wasn't great. Again, I thought Ben Affleck was fantastic. That's what I was really looking forward to. I think the movie I'm excited for the rest of this universe. I'm excited for the Flash. I'm excited for Green Lantern. I'm excited for what they may do going forward. Suicide Squad, I have a lot of high hopes for, and there's a lot of pressure on Suicide Squad right now. That and Wonder Woman. And not speaking of Wonder Woman, uh, Gal Gadot, I think it's Gadot. Fine job. I mean, she didn't have a lot to do. She just got to kind of stand there, look menacing, and fight Doomsday, which she was all right. She didn't have a lot of lines to deal with. When she was Diana in that scene that you see in the trailer where they're at the party held by Lex Luthor, it was all right. She's fine. I think she'll do a good job in the movie. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the rest of this universe. This movie, though, it wasn't good. I would see it because if you haven't seen it already, which I mean, I would see it just because it does set up things and it gets you maybe a little more excited for what's coming up. But the movie itself, not great. If I was going on a scale of 1 to 10, probably give it a 4 to 5, 4 or a 5. It's just it doesn't make a lot of sense. It looks nice, and all Zack Snyder's films do look very nice, and that's going to happen. But the story is really choppy. Some plot details don't make sense. There's a weird cutaway to a nightmare sequence that comes back, and I don't know if I like Batman having premonitions. That was kind of dumb. If they're going to go do an Injustice storyline, the fact Batman was killing people kind of bothered me a little bit. I'm a big Batman fan, but who knows? Maybe we'll see what that comes up with in Suicide Squad, which I'm looking forward to. That's the next DC movie that's coming out. So, again, if I had to give this movie out of 10, it'd be a 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. I'd see it because it sets up this universe. I mean, sort of like how with the Marvel movies, you kind of have to see Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 3 movies, or Thor 2, which I didn't really like those movies. I'm not a big Iron Man or Thor person, but I liked the first Iron Man. I like Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. But anyway, so 4 or 5 out of 10. Hopefully they improve. They change their leadership over at Warner Brothers now that Jeff Johns is going to be doing more of it. So we can hope and pray DC can catch up and make good movies. That's all I can really hope for. I mean, this was just such a dark, depressing movie. Hopefully it can get a little more lighter. Not Marvel, Joss Whedon humor, but it can get a little lighter with its tone. And it's hard to do that with Batman, but with Superman you think it'd be a little easier, which they haven't done so far. Thank you guys for listening. It's the first movie review. Hopefully I did a good job. Mizzou. Go Tigers. Thanks for watching. Next 3 movies that I'll choose. I'll go 3 Disney classics. We'll go Aladdin, we'll go Beauty and the Beast, or we'll go Lion King. I'll review one of those 3 movies if you guys would just take a vote. Top comment wins, and you guys all have a great night. Hope you all enjoyed that OKC Warriors game. That was a hell of a game. You guys all have a great night and a great Memorial Day weekend.